What's the biggest piece on a Tesla to wrap? Is it the top? No, because it's glass. The biggest part, not the hardest part, but the biggest part is the hood. So we're gonna do that next. The first thing that you need to do is debadge your Tesla. Unless you want an imprint of your Tesla logo in the wrap, which could be cool, maybe, but you might have air bubbles. Don't do that. Remove the Tesla logo. You wanna do that first. From there, you're going to obviously clean the surface, make sure you prep it. I would say grab your wrap box, put it right next to the car. That way you can pull the wrap over the hood.
Nice.
It does look very nice. Once you pull the wrap over the hood, you're gonna wanna pull it completely to the other side. So take this and pull it. We're not applying it at all right now. We're just, yeah, this is good. I wonder how big this is. We didn't apply it at all. We still have the backing on it. We just need to measure it. Look at how big this is. I don't have a measuring tape right now, but again, lay your box here, pull it over the entire hood. Make sure you have enough excess on each side. Obviously you'll have enough on this side. You wanna have it going over the fender a little bit, almost basically at the wheel arch. That way you have enough to have it fold over underneath here. You can start cutting on this side and boom, you have, oh my gosh. Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. After you do your cut, well, before you do your cut, make sure you don't cut your paint, please. That would be so bad. So make sure you use a knife or a blade that is protected like this, that's only going to slice where you want to slice it. If you scratch your paint, that's on you. I take no responsibility for that. What really helps is these little magnets, and they can hold the wrap down. I mean, it's pretty simple. So go grab the magnets from your fridge or check out the links in the description below. From your fridge?
Back in the fridge.
He's actually gonna get magnets from the fridge. Okay, see, I'm telling you, get magnets from the fridge, save some money. You don't need to buy these, but if you do wanna buy these, check out the links in the description with all the tools. All the tools will have linked below. On Teslas, there's a few things that are metal and a few things that are plastic. The fenders, these are aluminum, they're metal, so your magnets will stick to them. What's not metal is your hood or your bumper. Those are both plastic, while these are metal. So we have 2 magnets on this side, as well as 2 magnets on that side. So Anon, we're about to work on the bumper together. He put the wipers in service mode, pulls the wipers up. It's just settings, service, you'll see it. And that'll give us room to fold around the bottom, top, back, whatever, that part of the hood. Oh yeah, there you go. There's a bit of wrinkling in the wrap, so we're just gonna smack that with some heat. It might not come out just by doing that because we have not taken the backing off of it, but once we do, the wrap will be super malleable. Now, it's the time to remove the backing. Hopefully, we only have to do this once, otherwise, Greta Thunberg's gonna be really mad at us. Greta Thunberg, the environmentalist, because we're wasting all this plastic and stuff. I think what we'll do is I can pull it up while you remove the backing. Okay, usually slap that down. Okay, that's more stable. So I lay it down?
Yeah, start laying it slowly.
That was very, very, very stressful. So let's take a look at how that went. And this is what we got. So remember, wipers, service mode. The wrap got caught on the bottom one. Just be aware of that. We had to pull it down and it ripped the backing a little bit, which is not important, but just something to note. We got a bit of wrinkles in it and a bit
The sunlight is helping.
of these. Bit of wrinkles, bit of not tears, but just the wrap kind of folding on over itself. The sunlight is helping though, so it's making the wrap more malleable, allowing us to pull it down. Hopefully this will come out. I'm sure it will because it's just the wrap bunched up right here. Along the sides, this you can just wrinkle it. It doesn't matter because it's being pulled over. Remember, we're gonna cut around here, pull this underneath the hood. You don't need all this excess film. It's just good to properly lay it out and stretch it to the dimensions that you need it to be. Hitting it with some direct heat, it's getting much smaller.
Very gentle amount of heat. There we go.
There we go. Can't even see it was there. A little bit of direct heat goes a long way. You don't want to just blast that with heat. A little bit of heat, slight pulling, and boom, I don't even know where it was. Make sure you have enough excess to go around the hood right here because again, we're going to be cutting and tucking. Make sure you have no imperfections. That's super important. You don't want any imperfections, otherwise it's very much going to show once you lay the entire wrap down. So if you're trying to do PPF versus wrap, huge difference on how the material behaves. So this is not going to be the same for wrap and PPF. This is just for wrap.
Do not squeegee. Stretch as much as you can first until it looks very, very smooth. Because once you start squeezing, you might get fingers and you gotta lift it up again.
Make sure it's stretched. You can see there's a little bit of play right here. And that's just because we're not squeegeeing it down yet, because if you do, you're gonna mess it up, and we don't wanna mess it up. Squeegee does equal problems, just like this. This is a problem. We'll take a heat gun to it, so it's not that big of a deal. You just wanna make sure all imperfections are out before you start squeegeeing, because if you get any imperfections, you get any fingers, especially if it's like right in the middle, up comes the entire wrap. You have to,
especially in the hood, this is the first thing everyone looks at.
yeah, you don't want any imperfections on the hood. Preferably, you don't want any imperfections anywhere.
Let's do it.
No, I'm wrapping it with Red Bull cans. I didn't tell you that
didn't hear
either.
about this.
No. I thought about it because you know how did I tell you I'm building a high-powered rocket? I'm building the outer shell of the rocket right now, right? And for design, it's gonna be Red Bull cans. And I was like, what if I just did this on my car? All right, starting from the middle, going up and then down, just doing some nice passes, continuously checking for any imperfections. Oh, like that. That is an imperfection. And just like I said, if you have any imperfections, the wrap is gonna have to come up. You wanna make sure you stretch it all the way to each of the edges. Otherwise, something like this is gonna happen. You're gonna have to heat it to get rid of any of the dimples that you're gonna have from putting your fingers in it, and just stretch it. It's not that big of a deal, it's just more of a time thing, but you wanna make sure that this is done right. So we'll do it right. A great way to mitigate this is to pull it while you're squeegeeing it as well. Pro tip, to use gloves. That way you don't get your finger oils underneath the wrap as well. You wanna keep this as clean as you can. That way you don't have any dirt or anything that's kind of bulging underneath the wrap. So the sun, helping us earlier to lay it out, is now hindering us because with too much heat, the wrap is going to stretch too much. And that's what our problem is right now. We're running into the fact that we're squeegeeing it and the wrap keeps bunching up at the edge of our squeegee because there's just so much space for it to pull and stretch. So what's the plan? We gotta pull it more, squeegee it back down. Most of it looks pretty good. It's a long process, so you're gonna have to have a lot of patience, but don't worry, we're here with you. You have nothing to worry about. You are in good hands. You can see how much we've continuously had to pull this wrap down just to get all of the bubbles, the fingers, and everything out. The sun is behind us. The car is in front of us. Now, the sun is messing with us, so instead of squeegeeing it down towards the sun, what we're going to do is squeegee it more away and kind of up. This has been a little bit better for us, but we've also stretched the material quite a bit. You can see we still have a few more bubbles inside of here, but they're going away pretty nicely. You can see the side that we've squeegeed down versus the side that we haven't squeegeed yet. There's a little bit of air under here, and that's just because we haven't pressed it down, but all of this, pretty good. I give it a A-. You're gonna want to do multiple passes over the PPF. That's super important. Otherwise, you get bubbles, and you don't want bubbles underneath your PPF. Accurately save bubbles. Bubbles!
Bubbles!
Gently, good, gentle. Keep going gentle. No! I told you to do gentle. Cover your body over the sun so it doesn't make it too malleable.
You can definitely smell the wrap in the sun. Like as soon as it started to like warm up, you can smell it.
And do you think you can do it all in one day?
No. Yes.
Two different answers. Woo!
Be gentle and be careful.
Yeah, it's only his entire hood.
You need to leave a long
Basically, it's like
untouched material. Yeah.
You don't want to cut it with the hood open?
no.
Oh,
Well, you can't even put the hood open right now, just because it would make
Oh.
up all this.
And it's auto.
so this is pretty good, pretty smooth to the touch. So once you're satisfied with how it looks, you can start cutting. Get a small knife or get a small blade and you're gonna start going around the edge. Now, you want to make sure that you have enough overlay on the sides. So when you use your baby knife, you're gonna want to cut along here, kind of towards the outside. That way you can tuck it underneath here. And you don't want to scratch the paint. So just be super careful of that. Woo. There you go. Did you breathe that whole time?
It felt like the world got quiet. Like we all were like, hold on, he's cutting it now.
I was not breathing.
All the satisfying part.
Wow. Look how good this looks. Is it good practice just to clean it right afterwards?
Just because Matt's very sensitive to oils.
Makes
So
sense.
the level of sensitivity, gloss, not much. Satin, a little bit. Matte, very.
Matte.
Pro tip, since you see this blade comes out on the left side and not the right side, the way you cut it with the blade facing outward like that.
There you go. Pro tips from Anon. All right, Anon is just gonna keep on cutting.
And don't cut the glass.
Oh, please don't cut the glass. All right, so kind of resting our knife along here, we're leaving quite a bit of excess this. You can see right here. That way we can properly fold it over. We're gonna go from the middle-ish all the way to that side just because the hood's so long. And then we're gonna go from this end to this side. We can just pull this off.
Slide patch.
What happened? Oh, that's what happens if you get a little too carried away. There's not enough to go around the edge, so we'll try something. We'll try pulling it. All right, so we're gonna lift it up just a little bit.
Don't pull too much, otherwise we get discoloration. We fixed it.
Yay! Pulling it up just a little bit allowed us to pull it over. That way it completely covers this side now. So we're just gonna finish cutting off the rest of that side, pull it off, and then we can lift our hood. Nice.
I was not breathing.
With some good instruction and onto that side correctly. So you can use a helping hand or you can use a squeegee. Either works, both work. That's a good move.
No peelage. It's pretty solid.
If you're trying to get the cord the other way, you're gonna have to go all the way around the car.
Of course.
No, mine should have longer extension cords.
He has a $50,000 car, but you can't afford a $20
Okay,
extension
let
cord.
me get an.
I have a 50-foot. This is super clean. Check out these edges. These guys folded it super well over. So hitting it with a heat gun as well as the squeegee, we're just tucking it in underneath a little bit more, making sure that it's super, super sealed. That way you don't get any lifting or any finger, because that would be bad. Fingers are bad. Oh, I see that. Slight bubble right there. And that's the hood pretty much done. So that's how you wrap a hood to perfection. Wow, it's going up. This is the underneath of it, so you can see the edge wrapped. There is this rubber strip right here for noise isolation, I believe. We just went underneath that a little bit with the wrap. There's a little bit of bubbling right here as well, actually. So that's an issue for us.
It's the correct tool for every scenario. That's acceptable. It's just gonna be like that. It folds over too much. It's okay, no one sees it.
If we look around at the other sides, this is all really good because Anon didn't do it. I'm not even gonna try because I know I'd be horrible. Your PPF, your wrap looks way better than my PPF. Let's say that. So just hit it with low.
Okay, which section are we working on next?
The glass.
The glass?
It's at the bottom now. It's not showing itself.
Okay, good. That's all that matters.
And that's the hood completely wrapped. Ooh, that hood latch does not sound good though. So we already wrapped the side mirrors. Do you want to see how that's done? Do you want to see us finish the rest of the body? Well, check out the full video in the description below. It's super fun. Trust me, you'll love it.